Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP laptop model 15z-ef2000. Alright, so the way you remove this is first we got to remove these little rubber feet. So I just use my fingernail. You can use whatever works for you. Plastic pry tool or a small flathead screwdriver just to get in the edge, and then we're gonna have to lift this up. Usually the adhesive on this kind of sucks. You can see it kind of stuck down there. So what I'm gonna have to do now is, after getting that, I'm gonna have to use a tool to kind of lift up underneath the actual adhesive and then peel that up because just the rubber piece came out. All right, so once we do that, we're gonna actually lift by the adhesive. Okay, you can actually stick it back together if you want, and then we're gonna peel this up. There we go, and now we got the rubber piece off. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, you can see there's 3 screws under here. Alright, we're going to get under here as well and peel that up. Make sure the adhesive backing came out, alright, and then we're going to peel that, and you can see there's 3 more screws under there. Okay, so we're going to be using a J1 or JIS1 or PH1 screwdriver to remove these screws, okay? Again, J1, JS1, or PH1, and we're just going to undo all these screws. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern. I remove them. So we got 3 here, then we got 1 on either side here, and then we got 3 more at the bottom. Alright, so for the back where the hinges are, these 2 screws are black, and then the rest are all silver. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all those screws out. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. But other than that, let's go ahead and continue getting this apart. So I'm going to remove this keyboard cover because the customer put that on there. Gonna have to remember to put that back. Alright, anyways, after removing all the screws, usually what works best is I get my fingernails in the gap between the keyboard palm rest assembly and the base, alright? And then I'll push on the back with my thumbs, just like this. You can see it pops, and yeah. Alright, you want to be careful that you don't press onto any of this, but in this case, because we're pushing from the bottom with our thumb, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so once we got all of that popped up, we're going to go around the side here and continue the same. Again, push with the thumb on the bottom and pull up with the fingernails on the side. If you don't have fingernails, I mean, you could either let them grow out, or you can get some plastic pry tools and try prying in here. But as you can see, like, fingernails and being able to move your hand like this works a lot better than whatever pry tools you're just going like this. Alright, so now that we got the sides and that out, usually we can go ahead and lift here. Let's see. Okay, this model, I think the keyboard assembly comes up first. So we're going to open this up. Okay, and now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and carefully lift up here. Oh, actually, nope, the bottom plastic cover comes out separately. So let's go ahead and carefully open this, right? Is that how it works? Okay, there are some clips at the bottom or in the middle. So we're going to kind of just wiggle this. Okay, now that we got that, I'm going to hold down here. I'm going to work my way over here. There's a little clip here as well, if you can pop that up. Let's see if I can, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and go over here and do the same thing. Okay, and then once you get that, you can either go from this side or this side. And again, you kind of hold this down and you kind of just wiggle this side to side as you kind of lift up, and there we go. So now we got the laptop open. That's what it looks like underneath. Alright, the customer, I don't know, they said this computer's been sitting here for a while, and then they finally opened it and the screen has some damage, so that's why they brought it. I'm going to be checking the screen. Okay, so we have the battery here. Let's actually get a thumbnail. Okay, inside is actually really clean. There was a little bit of dust there, but not much. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and zoom in because we're going to be taking the battery out. Hopefully I'll have enough room here to move the thing around and show you close up. Okay, here's the battery connector. So we got 3 batteries here, or 3 screws there, and then we got 1 or 2 screws down here. All right, sounds like someone's at my door, so give me a second, I'll be back. Let me get these screws out real quick first, though, to show you how to remove the battery. All right, after disconnecting the battery, there's a very important step you don't want to miss, so give me a second. Okay, so we got those 5 screws, and now we're gonna go ahead and pull this. So I just go here with my finger and then just pull up just like that. And there you go. Battery model number is HT03XL. Okay, that's what the battery looks like. And I'm getting a phone call, so give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to show you quickly what's inside here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start removing the screen because that's what they need worked on. Alright, so hopefully the screen isn't hidden underneath the, or hopefully they didn't hide like the hinges and stuff under the motherboard. I hope I can just remove it from removing this, but we'll find out. Alright, there's an M.2, looks like PCIe NVMe SSD. If you want to upgrade, there's no size limitation. Just remove the screw, it pops up slightly, you can pull it out. Alright, there's no, what I mean by size, I mean capacity. You can't fit one of those giant ones with the heatsink. Alright, you got a separate board here for the 2 USB 3.0 ports. Okay, these have little flip latches if you need to remove this cable to replace it. Alright, you got the, oh, I didn't mention, after disconnecting the battery, you want to actually open the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Alright, this makes it a lot safer to work on. Okay, especially if you're going to be messing with the screen or the LCD LVDS connector. All right, it's very important you hold this button for about 15 seconds after disconnecting the battery and the power cable. That will drain power from the capacitors. All right, so just take that few extra seconds so you don't end up frying your computer. All right, LCD LVDS connectors here with also the flip latch. Fan connectors here. This kind of connector, you got to kind of get underneath and you just pull this part of the connector out. Make sure you're not pulling out the outer frame because that's actually part of the motherboard. So if you want to see how to remove those, I have videos showing it on a lot of the older MacBooks. Alright, then you got this connector. There's a keyboard connector, same thing, flip latch, touchpad, trackpad connector, flip latch here. And then you got the SD card slot with the 3.5mm headphone jack, audio jack, whatever you want to call it, headset. You can flip that latch and disconnect that on both sides. And then you got 2 sticks of RAM. Let's go ahead and pop one out just to take a look. So pull these 2 tabs to the side. Okay, and then it usually will pop up on its own, but it's not, so I'm gonna have to help pull it up. And here we go. And this is a PC4 3200AA stick of RAM, 4 gigs. You can put any PC4 3200AA RAM. As far as I know, there's no max capacity, so if you can find 16 gig sticks, you can put 2 16 gig sticks. If you can find 32 gig sticks, try putting 32. It usually will work fine. CPU soldered to the motherboard. This is the heatsink, and that helps pull the heat away. Then you got the speaker connected here. Same thing with that kind of fan connector where you pop out the white portion, the black portion stays attached to the motherboard. Make sure you're not prying up on there. Usually you just use a thin tool and get under there to pry it out. All right, and then that has a wire running from this speaker to this speaker. And I think that's about it to show. There's only one wireless antenna here. I'm going to try and avoid taking the antenna out because sometimes the solder job is bad and then it rips out. So we're just going to be seeing if we can remove the wireless card just by undoing the screw. So there's this plastic adhesive tab on top that's blocking it. Oh, I guess the antenna came out anyways, so we pulled that up and you can see the antenna came out on its own. We're going to undo this screw and then you can see the wireless card pops up slightly and you can go ahead and wiggle and pull it out. This is exactly how the SSD, the M.2 SSD would come out. So if you're wondering how to get that out, that's how you do it. All right, and luckily they did design this to where you can pop the cable, sorry, not the cable, the screen out by doing that. Oh, we do have to undo the wireless antennas if we're going to pull the whole screen out. So this cable, we need to unroute it from this. They have a little pathway where they ran the cable. All right, we're going to disconnect the LCD LVDS connector as well because we're going to take the whole screen assembly out. Flip that latch up. Okay, just like that. Then you can go ahead and lift this slightly up and then pull it back. And there's a little tape adhesive here. Peel that up carefully. Okay. All right, and then we're going to unroute this as well. Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to do, which you're going to end up seeing a bunch of junk all over my desk, but we're going to open this about 90 degrees. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to hang this over the edge of the desk. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so we hang this over the edge of the desk, and then we're going to remove all the screws here from the hinges. Right, they have little arrows on the hinge pointing to where the screws came from, so there's no arrow pointing to this one because you don't want to put a screw in there. That's from the bottom cover. Okay, so we'll get the 3 screws out of this one, and then we'll get the 2 screws out of this one. Okay, there we go, and then we're going to lift this out. Oh, sorry, there's a 3rd screw there. I forgot about that. Don't forget that 3rd screw. Okay, you can see the whole thing is swinging now. Okay, and also make sure this isn't caught on anything when you lift it up, because you don't want to accidentally damage these cables. So we'll lift this up. Same thing with the wireless antenna. It's going around some more little loops, so make sure you get that out. Don't just yank it up. Okay, and there we go. We got the screen assembly separated from the base. So we're going to set the base aside. Okay, and let's see if we can get this out easily or if it's going to be a pain. A lot of times these have like a little sliding mechanism. This might not have that sliding mechanism because it doesn't seem to want to go. It does wiggle a little bit, but from the past, I think these HP ones, you push from here and it kind of clicks out of place. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to, yep. Okay, so you push from the top like this, and you're basically rolling it over, okay, just like this. And I'm pretty sure you can't do this without removing the thing first. But yeah, so here you can see we're popping that out, and then if you can even get your fingernail underneath there to help it and pull that up. And there we go. So here we go. We got this piece off, and this is what it looks like. So you can see there's some little clips. Oops, it's not focusing well, but there's some little clips here to help hold it, and then it kind of just pops up. So there we go. We're gonna set that aside. Okay, and now we got to get this frame out. Usually this is gonna be a pain. Oh, and also take note of the cabling. You want to make sure it's going out here, all right, over these plastic pieces. So if you go to replace or remove this, there's this plastic piece here and here. Okay, so usually to remove these, what you do is you get under the edge here, and we're basically going to roll it that way. Okay, it feels like there's some adhesive holding this, so this is probably going to be difficult to pop out, but basically we're pushing in that way and pulling up with our fingernail to roll it. I can hear the adhesive right now. Okay, also there's a good chance you're going to end up damaging the LCD pulling this out, so unless you need to, avoid doing this. Okay, so we're going to carefully pull this up. Okay, you can hear the adhesive. Now I'm kind of pulling on this up while I kind of slide my fingernails underneath and applying a little bit of force with the back of my fingers to help hold the LCD down so I can more easily peel the adhesive away. Okay, just like this. Okay, hopefully the clips aren't breaking. They're a little bit stubborn here. Okay, so there we go, and we can actually see, can we see the clips here? Oh, the clips are just these kinds of clips, so they should be okay. Those kind of clips are sturdy. All right, we're gonna go along here, same thing, kind of rotating it up that way, okay? And I can actually see the adhesive separating. Some of it is staying attached to this, as you can see there, okay? Not a big deal. The adhesive isn't that important. The clips are already plenty strong. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna work our way over to this side and do the same thing. Okay, if this is like the other one I worked on, then there's a good chance it's gonna break here. I hope not. Okay, because the adhesive is way too strong. Okay, so there we go. We got that. Okay, now we're gonna try and get the bottom parts here out, and this part again is much more difficult. Oh, I'm getting the adhesive stuck to my fingers. So we're gonna try and get under here, which, as you can see, I can't even really get my fingernails under there, so this is gonna be a pain. Let's see, how can we do this? Yeah, very likely we're gonna end up snapping it. I hope not. I'm gonna try not to. Obviously, you don't want to break stuff here. Oh, okay, I got my fingernail under this gap here, barely. So we're gonna try and pull this up. The adhesive is so strong. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna work my way over to the other side because I'll have a better grip. since I'm left-handed. Let's see if that will work at all. Nope. Nope. Okay. Jeez. This thing is super stuck in there. Let's see, can I somehow help pop it out from here a little bit? That's kind of working. Okay, so I kind of pried it up from in there, and let's see if now we can get under here. There, you see that the adhesive is slowly peeling up. Man, this is a pain. Okay, so I'm gonna continue working our way over. Oh, and this has the stretch release adhesives too, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. So we're gonna continue over here, pulling up slowly, carefully. You can see it's slowly peeling up. And we want to make sure we're peeling. Okay, it's separating the adhesive from the screen. So you kind of want to make sure to keep that layer down. I have this little flat tool that I get in there, and then I use that to help push that down as I kind of pull this up. But basically push that down, and then I gotta unstick it, push that down. It's not an easy task, so okay. Alright, so this one's actually a pretty big pain. Let me see here, is that? Yeah. So that's gonna be a pain. We're gonna have to continuously peel that. Oh, there we go, we got a bigger portion of it. Okay, then we're going to continue working our way. You can see how it's separating the black layer. Yeah, you don't want that to separate from the screen, so I'm going to try and push that in. I think one of those clips might have snapped. But okay, we'll try and keep pushing that adhesive layer down. I don't know if there's an easier way to pop these clips out. Let's see, I'm going to pull, so I'm pulling the hinge in that way, and then lifting, because it seems like that helped lift this side, but I don't know where the clips are on the inside here. So I'm getting my finger in between to separate the adhesive layer. And we're kind of like pulling left or wiggling it. I guess right now it's left and right, but normally it's like up and down, depending how you're holding it. And we're going to do that to try and release the clips. We're going to continue going all the way. Okay, the adhesive is peeling out. I can see that. Okay. We're just going to continue working our way up and down. Alright. Sorry if it's going out of view. But this, oh, now it's going to be an awkward position. But basically getting my finger under in between, so in between these two layers there. And I'm just working my way under as I kind of wiggle this. Okay, and it's easier the other way, but because I'm left-handed, basically going this way, getting between the adhesive layer. Okay, my customer is waiting outside, so the main thing I need to do here is find out what the model number of the screen is. This adhesive is so annoying. We're almost there. Come on. Oh, we're at the final edge. That's stuck with like a clip or something. Okay, so we're here. Carefully peel it up. And okay, there we go. Hopefully the clips are intact. I think these clips kind of just snapped off. I don't know. Yeah, the clips at the bottom here, sadly they came out, but well, having that a little bit loose is not as bad as having a broken screen. So if somebody knows a way to get that out without snapping it, let us know. It looks like the way the clip goes, you'd have to somehow get in a tool in here and then lift from here instead of lifting from here, or you'd have to be able to push it down hard enough to unclip it, but the adhesive makes that very difficult. So yeah. Alright, it looks like there might be 4 stretch release adhesive tabs, which is very annoying because they hid one under here and under here, which is underneath the hinge area. Huh. That's gonna be very annoying. How can you even lift that? Okay, let's see. I guess we're gonna have to take all these screws out. Let's see if that will let us lift it up. Very bad design. Okay, one screw here, one screw here. I'm probably gonna end up removing some of those adhesive strips because they're not needed. Remove that one. This has 3 screws. Let's see if we can access the thing after removing those 3. Then we got the 3 on this side. Alright, let's see. Can we lift that out and then access that? No, because this is trapped under here. So those adhesive strips are just going to be very annoying. Let's see what we can do. That means removing these screws. You can't really lift this out unless you break your screen first. So unless you like completely break your screen first. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to leave this in here. These metal bars are to basically stiffen or strengthen the entire screen assembly so it doesn't like bend as easy. That's why they put those there. Okay. Make sure these screws are very tight. You don't want them to be loose, because if these screws are loose, then there will be some wobble, and then you can damage your hinges that way. Okay. There's some adhesive residue going up into the display area, so I want to peel that out. Okay. So we took these out for nothing. And you're going to need some either like a needle or something, or very good tweezers, or to get the bottom stretch release adhesive tabs out. Okay. Make sure this is nice and tight. Hopefully my customers are not going to be like, "What? Hurry up." This is taking longer than expected. Alright, again, make sure these screws are nice and tight. You don't want them coming out. You can probably even add some thread locker if you wanted. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and remove the stretch release adhesive tab from the top first. Again, you're going to need some tweezers or some pliers to help get this up. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this up here. Okay, and then you grab that. And these, you basically have to stretch them straight back, parallel. Okay, so like this. Uh-oh, it's tearing. You want to pull it straight. If it tears like this, you're going to want to throw that away, because if it tears and gets stuck underneath, you're going to be screwed. So we're carefully pulling this straight back like this. Okay, you can see how the adhesive comes out just like that. And just keep pulling it. It helps to, as you're pulling it, keep a hand of your fingers here pinching it a little, so that way when it completely comes out, it's not going to snap and fling out. Okay, so just like this. And be careful not to let it stick to itself, because the adhesive, if it sticks to itself, you're definitely not going to be able to reuse it. Okay, you can see how it's coming out. Geez, is there really a second tab under there, or does it just extend that far? Oh, okay, it just extends that far. So there's no 2 tabs, it's just one. Oh, geez. Okay, it's just one really long one that goes all the way to the bottom. So that's good, because then you don't actually have to mess around with down there, which is what I was worried about. All right, now we got the other tab here. Okay, there's the little black rubbery tab. We got to get that lifted up. A little tricky to get that. I think using needle nose pliers might work better, because then you won't accidentally pierce it. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and just continuously peel this. Oh, I think this one tore as well. Yeah, you can see there's a tear there. Oh, it didn't. It's because they actually make like a skinnier portion here, and that part is what tears off. So yeah, when we put this back, I don't know if it's gonna be able to stick out as much. Okay, so we're gonna just slowly, continuously pull this Okay, same thing. Like that. Just continue. Oh, okay. And be careful. Now this one probably all stuck to itself. I hope not. Let's see. See, it's all tangled on itself. You want to carefully unstick this if you can, because yeah. All right, good. Nothing got permanently overstuck on itself, so we should be okay here. We'll set that aside. All right, and let's see what the screen model number is. So now that we got those out, we can flip this forward slightly. Be careful because this cable is here. Okay, and if you want to remove this, we're going to peel this up, and then there's a little flip latch. I'm not going to be doing that now, but I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Okay. Okay, so there's that. I've taken a lot of these screens out, so I do have videos showing that, but on this one I'm not going to show it. But there's a little flip latch that holds that connector in after you peel that adhesive up. And the screen model number is right there. It's a B156HTN06.1. Okay, let me see if I can show a close-up better of this. Okay, right there. B156HTN06.1. That's the screen, firmware 1, hardware AA. Alright, so we're going to look for that screen, and then we're going to see how much it will cost to replace. Alright, other than that, we do need to put these stretch release adhesives back in, so let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll put the computer back together and give that to the customer. Okay, so we're going to carefully lift this up. Alright, and you might need some help holding the screen up. I'm just holding it with my body right now, but we're going to put this adhesive back here. So this basically, just get this back up in this empty white area. Okay, and stick that in. Normally, again, I don't know if you saw, it had that little tab, so it would have a little tab that would stick out, not like this whole thing. So we tuck this one back under here if we can. Okay, so we can tuck that under there, and then we can work our way up and just stick that down. There we go. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. So get that, and if you can, tuck that back under there. Okay, this is tricky to do. So getting it under this side's tricky. Maybe it's easier to just start it from up here and then have the excess go out. Okay, so tuck this under here. Okay. And it's going at an angle right now because that little tab, since that little tab is broken off, usually what it had was it was over on the side here, and then that little tab would stick out in there, but now I'm putting this whole piece up in there so it's easier to grab. I'm going to slowly lower this down. Okay, and there. Okay, and the screen on the back has this aluminum or metal piece. That's what that sticks to. So we're going to lower this. You want to be careful. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to get the top corner lined up with the corners of the metal bracket here first. Okay. And then drop it in from there. Okay. Make sure the edges go in. And there we go. Stick it down. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put the frame back in and then reassemble this thing, and that's pretty much it. That's the main thing we needed, was that model number for the screen so we can order it. And then we're gonna go ahead and place that. Okay, so this just goes back on like that. Okay, line this all back up. Get that little corner edge down, and then work your way around the edge. Get the top snapped in. We're just pushing on the top outer edge, okay? On the outer edges to snap it in, just like that. Get that all back in, and the adhesive again sticks down. Make sure you get these edges clicked down as well. Okay, good. Alright, and then the adhesive will just kind of stick itself back in, just like that. Okay, you have that. We're going to flip this back over, and hopefully you put this back the right way. So you have this piece, and again, you can see like this side has the clips. That's the side that goes in towards the screen, and then this side that has whatever these thingies are that are sticking out further, the longer ones. Those clips also, they're longer clips, they go towards the back or the bottom. So we're going to put it like that. Oh, another easy way is this side is flat and then this side is more like angled, if you see that. Okay, so the shorter flat end goes towards the bottom of the screen. So we're going to get that in, line it up. And this can be also a little tricky to put back. Basically just have to snap it down, but it's being a pain. Okay. Oh, the back here, because it has this protruding, you can't even see that protruding plastic piece on the back of the hinge, so you have to make sure that goes over first. So you kind of push it backwards and get that over, then you can get that in. There we go. Okay, then we just click this all back down, assuming we got everything lined up right. You can clip the bottom in first. Okay, and then click that in. Just like that. Alright. Uh-oh, why isn't this clip going? I think this cable might be trapped, so we're gonna have to pop this back out. Clip this back, unclip this. I think this, oh. So this, make sure it gets tucked under here. Does it go underneath? Yeah, oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to take this back out. This cable needs to be tucked under. Do we have to do that with this? No. So this one, we have to peel back up, because if we can pop this back out, it needs to tuck under this piece here. So tuck that under there. There we go, and then we can go ahead and get that in. Okay, click that all back down, click that back down, stick that back down. It's taking longer than expected. Hopefully my customer's not getting too tired of waiting, but there we go. So that goes underneath there, you can see. Okay, hopefully that didn't mess you guys up, but we'll get this in. Okay, get that in. Okay, click that all down, there we go, and then click that, and there we go. Okay, so we got the screen assembly back together. Looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and get the bottom, or sorry, the keyboard assembly, and get this back in. And again, we do need to tuck those cables back into the little grooves, so that's going to be a little bit tricky. But let's go ahead and zoom out a bit more. Okay. So, get this over here, and then we're going to have to get these all tucked back in. That's the tricky parts. Okay, how am I going to do this? How did they do it? It's so awkward trying to get this in. Okay. That maybe, oh, tilt the hinge back further. There we go. Okay, and then get that all in there. Alright, so we got the first one. We can now get that hinge, those hinge screws back in. Hold the screen up so that the hinge isn't like pulling on the screw. You don't want too much force on the screw as you're first screwing it in. Okay, get that one, and then the last one that was under here. Okay. I don't know if you can get this plastic hinge thingy off without removing the whole thing, but maybe I'll check that real quick. Okay, so now that we got that, what I'm gonna do, which I think might be easier, is I'm gonna carefully close this. Okay, so actually we might be able to do it without lifting the whole hinge out like that. Excuse me. All right, so see, now we have that, and then we can guide this where we need it to go. Like that, tuck it under the speaker. Go around this way. Is it this way? Okay. Then around that way. I think that's how it was. Okay. Now we can get the LCD LVDS connector back in. Make sure this latches up. Get that in, and then flip that down. Okay. And then we had this piece that was just taped here. There's a little hole here, which I'm a little worried because where does that screw? Okay, no, that's not. I was worried that if it's to the base cover, then you might accidentally pinch that when you screw it in. Just make sure this screw isn't getting covered, just in case. You don't want to accidentally pinch that with the screw mount. Okay. So we got that. Now we have this hinge here. Hopefully we can just flop it back down. Yes, we can. So yeah, actually you don't need to hang it over the edge of your desk. You can actually just get under here and pull this whole hinge up. Okay. All right, learning some new things, new techniques. Some models don't allow that because there's a raised plastic edge or a raised plastic edge there. And if you try and just pull the hinge up, you'll end up breaking that piece off. So make sure not to just do that on any laptop. All right. The last screw there for the hinges. Okay, let's go ahead now. We'll get the wireless card back in over here. So that goes in at an angle. Okay, push that in. Get this screw down. Okay, this plastic tab is annoying. Most laptops don't have this little plastic sheet on top. If you want, you can actually peel that off, but I'm gonna leave it there because that's how it came. All right, we're gonna line this up. You can know it's lined up because it will latch on, and then just click it down. There we go, and then push that back down if you want. All right, and now that we got that, again, I'm curious if I can pop this. I don't think so. Maybe. There's a chance you can kind of like pop this hinge cover off, but then I don't know how you'd pull it out because this will be in the way. So I think you have to remove the hinge assembly. If you want to take a risk and try and do it, go ahead, but I'm not going to do that and then damage the computer. All right, we're going to put the battery back in, so line this up. There's a raised tab there. Then we'll just push down here. Okay, we'll get the screws back in. It helps to kind of like pull the thing like that to push, make sure it's pulled all the way onto the connector. We'll get these screws back in. Took a lot longer than expected. I thought it'd take 20 to 30 minutes to find it, but all right. Now we're gonna go ahead and stick the bottom cover back on. Just line it up. Let's zoom out here. Okay, just line it up. It helps to go from the back first, basically the opposite of how we took it out. Down the sides. Okay, just pinching it together like this. And there we go. All right, and then we're just gonna get the screws back in. Make sure everything looks snapped together properly. Okay, we'll get the screws back in, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Oh, the battery, the main battery, also acts as the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery. Excuse me. So if you remove that battery, keep in mind it's gonna reset the BIOS. Your date and time is gonna get reset, and you're gonna want to. It might take a lot longer to boot the first time. I mean, it will take a lot longer to boot the first time, and it will tell you that the BIOS or whatever was reset. So keep that in mind. If your computer's not turning on right away, to just give it some time. Don't try and force shut it off, because that could mess it up. Just power it up and then let it sit, and then we'll see. Alright, so let me get the last couple screws in, and then we'll get the adhesive back on. I like to make sure I put the adhesive back the same way I took it out, so you can kind of see where the little holes were if you look at the reflection, and then you can put it back the same way. So I'm going to put that back there. Okay. Line that up, and then once you do that side, I like to kind of stretch it and then go to this side and make sure that side's down, because sometimes the rubber piece stretched a little, and then if you go from one side, you'll have excess sticking out here. So yeah, so same thing with this one. Stick on this side, go over to here, get that side in, and then we'll work our way over both sides, and there we go. So now we have the laptop all completely reassembled. Let's go ahead and power it up, make sure it works okay. Alright, so I see the power light is on. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And it's taking a while. You can see the screen's just black. Again, it usually will take some time. So I did see the screen go darker and now lighter. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it's like flickering on and off. That's normal. And there you go. CMOS checksum is invalid. CMOS will reset, and yeah, so just press enter and then it should be okay starting up again. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Here you can see the HP thing, just so you know it's working. Alright, see you guys later. But here you can see the weird effect it's having. It's getting all rainbowy colored. That's what's wrong with it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.